Hello guys, today we're going to be announcing the winner of the competition in the previous video, which was celebrating the 100 subscriber mark. I think we're at like 130 now, so the giveaway has been amazing. It's definitely increased subscribers, which has been great. I said I was going to do 2 coaching call giveaways, an ebook and possibly a cash giveaway, but I just really couldn't choose between who I was going to pick. So I've changed that. I'm going to do 3 coaching call giveaways now and an ebook. And I do have the winners here on this little piece of paper. So I have Christian Gomez, James Wall and Michael Muraz for the coaching calls, and Lee Carl for the free ebook giveaway. So if you guys just hit me up via like Facebook or my email, I think it's in the description. If not, hit me up through Facebook. I'm sure most of you are in the Facebook group, and we'll arrange the coaching calls or the coupon code for the ebook. So that does it for the giveaway. Of course, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, like the video and comment below, because there's going to be a lot more giveaways after seeing how successful this one was. There'll be a lot more, and possibly even a month's mentoring giveaway, which will definitely be a big one, which will be a hard one to choose between. But anyway, the topic of today's video is a top 3 tips for PPC, the monster that is PPC. Obviously, the whole PPC process would be very hard to cover in one video. Even optimizing and just going through all these points, PPC is just so complex, and it's just such a big thing to go through to get it right that it's difficult to outline every key point. So I'm just going to go through the top 3 here. But just before I do, I just want to mention that you can't rush PPC. It can take months and months to optimize the PPC, and that definitely goes into one of the points I'm going to mention in a minute. That it just takes a while, so definitely don't get frustrated with it if it is taking a while and your ACOS isn't coming down. Just spend some time on it, give it a chance to go. So the first point I've got written down here is automatic campaigns. Obviously, most of you know about running automatic campaigns. Like turn them on, run them for 2 weeks, get all the data, then upgrade into the manual campaigns, and just go on and on and on, just that kind of process. But I would always run the automatic campaign for more than those 2 weeks or a week, however long you're going to run it the first time. I never turn off my automatic campaign, and the reason just like being for that is the automatic campaign is like, firstly, it's getting you keywords and getting you new keywords all the time, which a manual campaign set to broad can also do. But the automatic campaign makes you show up in other people's listings, which the other campaigns don't. So if you were looking at someone else's listing, if you go down to around like halfway down the listing, it says like sponsored items, items similar to this. That's where the automatic campaign will show your ad basically, and that's why you get people's ASINs in your search term results when you download the forms from Still Essential. So I'd always run an automatic campaign for that reason, to be shown in that position where I couldn't otherwise be. And if you only run an automatic campaign for a week, 2 weeks, just however long it is, your product has got probably so many keywords that you can't expect to get every single keyword that there possibly is from having it out for 2 weeks. I've had an automatic campaign, I don't know, maybe a month and a half now, for a fairly long while, and I'm still learning new keywords, and I'm still getting just more stuff and more data from an automatic campaign that I otherwise wouldn't have known. So I'd always recommend just like continuing that on and not stopping it. Even if you have it at a very low bid or a very low daily budget, it's still probably going to bring you in new keywords and just new things to go through. And even if it doesn't, it's still going to advertise you in that spot that you couldn't otherwise be. So that's the first point. On to the second point on the good old list here. So this is a big one. Obviously, if you've seen your search term result and you have keywords that are costing you, that have a 70% ACOS, let's say, which is the advertising cost per sale. So if I spend £5 per sale on a £10 unit, my advertising cost per spend is 50%. And we want the advertising cost per spend to be as low as possible, because we don't want to spend much on advertising, we want to make more profit. So for keywords, once we're going through our search term result, we've downloaded it from Amazon. Some of these keywords will have very high ACOSs, and they're normally like the most competitive keywords, the most like searched for keywords. So if I was selling these sticky note things, the main keyword might be sticky note, and it's probably just most likely going to cost me a lot more to advertise that keyword than it would be for others. So if I got my search term report back and it said to me that sticky note has a 50% ACOS, or note that is sticky has a 50% ACOS, and what a lot of people would do after seeing that is put in a negative keyword, which basically means that your ad wouldn't show for that keyword, or they would just delete the keyword off the campaign if it's a manual, so they don't show for that keyword anymore, because that keyword is costing them a lot of money, they're not making much profit on it. You're losing a lot of potential in that keyword, because although that keyword, say it's costing you 70p per click or whatever your automatic bid is, that keyword might be costing you a lot, but instead of just completely removing that keyword from your campaign, what you can do is you can go into the campaign if it's a manual and just lower the bid on that keyword. It might be a 50% ACOS if you're bidding 70p per click, but if you lower your bid to 55p and see how it does, you might get less sales, but your ACOS might also come down. So instead of just immediately scrapping the keyword, getting rid of it, just play around with the bid on that keyword. So if you're paying a lot per click, just lower down the bid a bit, see how it does. If you get no sales, just rise it up a bit and just find that sweet point where the keyword can still be quite profitable, even if it was before a very high ACOS keyword. I'm not saying it's going to work for every keyword, but for most of them, this is often like a very good way to find an amazing keyword that once had a huge ACOS. And this is what I mean by it taking a while, which comes on to the third point, which I'm just going to go into now actually. Do not touch your campaigns. Don't look at them, just literally just do not do anything to them. If you're going to turn on automatic, or if you're going to start an exact, a phrase, a broad, whatever campaign you're going to do, set it and leave it. Do not touch it. If anyone has launched a product, they're in this stage, they are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. That when you start your PPC, you check it every single day and you just want to tinker with it and change this and add this and then put that as a negative keyword and change the bid on this and just do so much to it, but you really just want to leave it. If you set a campaign, and like the campaigns that I have now, I had a day yesterday where it said I had a 70% ACOS, and now today that's gone down to 15% because the sales data on Amazon takes a couple of days to update. So when I first looked at that yesterday and it said 70%, I didn't touch it, I left it, I waited, and now today that's gone down to 15% because all of the sales have now updated on the sheet and it's now changed the ACOS. So if you set a campaign and you leave it for a day and the ACOS for that campaign is saying it's 60-70%, and you immediately go in and remove that keyword, remove that, or pause the campaign and do all of this stuff to it, then you're not actually going to get the actual data from that campaign because you haven't let the sales load. All you've done is just look at the amount you've spent and not the sales that's brought in because they haven't updated yet. And just literally going on from this point, that doesn't mean set the campaign, leave it for 2 or 3 days, then change it, do all this stuff to it. You want to leave it for at least a week, 2 weeks. I'm not sure if many of you heard of Splitly, which is another Jungle Scout tool, which is like split test your listing. With what they do with your prices, your pictures, and they split test it, they'll run the split test for normally about 2 weeks or more, because just running it for a week, you don't get very valid results. You don't get statistically significant data from that. So normally with my campaigns, if I'm going to make a change, if I'm going to lower the bid on all these keywords that I have in my campaign, I want to let that run for 2 weeks, if not more. So then I have 2 Mondays, I have 2 Tuesdays, I have 2 Wednesdays to remove any anomalies or any things that could have happened in those days that would affect my results basically. So you always just want to set your campaign and leave it, don't touch it. So leave it for say 2 weeks and then go in. If you've got a high ACOS keyword, lower the bid on that keyword a bit and just filter your campaigns and optimize them that way, just in the long run, rather than just immediately swapping, changing, doing this stuff, taking out keywords, because that's really going to affect your campaigns and remove a lot of the profit and good keywords that you could have that you've now removed just because you couldn't wait or because you just removed them straight away. So that's my top tips for this video on PPC campaigns. I'm sure most of these points have been pretty useful for you. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed them. Give the video a big thumbs up and I'll see you all in the next video.